Hey everyone and welcome. This is Francesca from Social Work Portal. Have you ever been asked, what's your theoretical orientation here? Right after being asked, so what's your plan for this case? If so, you've already run into the mix-up we're clearing up today. I'll break down social work theory versus practice model. By the end, you should find your clinical reasoning easier to explain and end up with stronger case notes. Let's start with theory. A social work theory is an explanatory framework. It tells you why a client's situation looks the way it does. Theories come from research in psychology and sociology, and they're used mainly during assessment to help you understand what's contributing to a problem. What a theory does not do is tell you what steps to take next. Some common examples include ecological systems theory, empowerment theory, and psychosocial development theory. Now let's look at the other half, the practice model. A practice model is the action layer. It tells you what to do, structuring the helping process from intake all the way through to closure. Most practice models follow some version of engagement, assessment, planning, intervention, and evaluation. Examples include the crisis intervention model, the task-centered practice model, and the plan change model. Now, if you'd like more information on these theories and models, just check the link in the description to an article that outlines each one. Here's a quick side-by-side to make the distinction between the two stick. Social work theory answers, why is this happening? The practice model tells you what to do next. When it comes to function, social work theory explains the behavior and circumstances, while the practice model structures the helping process or next steps. When it comes to the origin of both, social work theory originates from research in psychology and sociology. Practice models are developed practice frameworks over time. And now, importantly, when do you use them? Social work theory is typically used during the assessment process, where the practice model is used throughout the engagement all the way through to termination. And we're about to go through a couple of examples, so I'll show you that on the next slide. Let's see how this plays out in a real case. A teenager has been skipping school and withdrawing at home. Using the ecological systems theory, the social worker looks beyond the behavior itself to the surrounding systems. A family conflict, a recent school transfer, a shifting peer group, and a parent working two jobs with little time to check in. That's the theory shaping how the situation is understood. Then the social worker applies the crisis intervention model to structure the actual engagement, establishing rapport quickly, identifying the most pressing stressor, generating coping alternatives with the family, and building a short-term action plan with follow-up. The theory explained the why. The model organized the how. Why does this distinction between theory and model matter for your documentation? The distinction isn't just academic. It shows up directly in your documentation. If you make a case note that only references theory, it can look vague about what actually happened in the session. And a note that only describes the actions taken without any theoretical grounding can look arbitrary. But when you reference both the theory and the model, your documentation shows the reasoning behind the case and the steps you took to act on it. That's what holds up under supervision review or an audit. It's worth noting that most social workers don't just stick to one theory or one model. Many take an eclectic approach, drawing on multiple theories and blending elements from more than one practice model within a single case. For example, a family case might draw on the family life cycle theory for one aspect of the assessment and systems theory for another, while the actual engagement follows a planned change model structure. This flexibility is part of why understanding the theory versus model distinction matters. If you have all these tools in your tool belt and you know which piece is doing which job, you can combine them deliberately to strengthen your overall case management. So how do you keep all this connected in your actual case files? That's where Case Management Hub comes in. It lets you document assessment notes, goal plans, and progress notes in one connected client record. So your clinical reasoning and your actions stay linked together instead of scattered across separate systems. You can try it free, no credit card needed. Just click the link in the description, and you can invite up to 9 other practitioners to try it with you. Thanks so much for hanging with me and watching my video. If you like this type of content and want to learn more about social services and nonprofit tools and resources, like this video and subscribe to our channel. You'll never miss one of our new exciting videos.